Right, finally gonna let this go. Alright, I've had it for just, a couple of weeks now. Love it. This is a real deal Edo period strong box, safe from, this would have been from a manor house, and it's gorgeous. 1603 to 1868, somewhere in that vicinity, and it's really something. Now let's see, let's go over the bad points to good points. Bad points. Yeah, this is good. No key. Don't have a key. In fact, let me show you something cool. Oh no, he's going off on another story. What? I love what I do. This here, I've kept this for years. In fact, one of my oldest things. In fact, this is my oldest thing as far as my eBay is concerned. Lost his head. Don't know where it is. I searched for years, and this was the first thing I tried to sell on eBay. He didn't sell, and I think I still got a picture, or that disappeared on my last computery thing or something. But yeah, he's one of my prized possessions. And this here, look at that. Look at the kanji there. Old school key. What a beautiful piece. Wow. That's just nice. Alright. So I don't have a key for it. Rare to have keys for these things. Over the years they, you lose them, or they fall apart, they rust out, or what have you. Now let us have a look. This is awesome. Stick with me. Now here, for some reason, it's maybe it's just due to the extremities, the extremes of temperature fluctuation, and the cold and the heat, where that's come away. I mean, it's solid as solid can, solid as solid can be. But you'll find here, I don't know, it's almost as if you see some dowel in there. It's almost as if it's like made like that, as if it was like, had a plate of steel through there and that was bolted to the other side of a wall or something. I don't know, because one would imagine that would be, if that's 4 or 5 mil there, and you'd think that would stick out that way, or stick out that way, and knock it back in or something. I don't know. I don't know. Just the other side, you don't have that, but you can see where it's been formed. Like there's a piece of wood there and a piece of wood there, and that. Different pieces of wood, which is exactly the same as that. So a piece of wood there, piece of wood there, that and that piece of wood. But maybe, I don't know, maybe they did have a plate of wood or something. I don't know. Could be just heat exchangey or something like that. Now this, you bracket there, bracket there, bracket there, and this one over the years, that bracket's gone. Alright, so that's that. And you'll see on the underside, oh, this is amazing. Look at that. Oh, we have it in the lighting. I'll just turn that lighty thing on. I turned this one off to try and get the correct sort of lighting, because it's really dark and gorgeous wood. And look at that, you can see I don't even know if this camera's showing it up properly. There you go, see all the lines, the trees that they've carved in here, and all that stuff is right there too. Plenty of that. I don't even know if that's coming out right. Wow, this thing is something. Look at that. Yeah. Oh, I love you. Wow. Right. Now, before I forget, there's a girl that's just, this is the artist village thing. There's this girl that's just moved in just down there, and I only just met her the other day. In fact, she was out here. I've been building all this stuff this morning. Is that all rotted out? It's all good. the other day, first time I met her, here she is over here, and she's got this sickle and cutting all the weedy things along here. You know, typical Australian. Who's this bird? I had one of my buddies with, who's this bird? Turns out that was kind of her way of introduction to sort of, you know, sort of like, oh, hello, blah blah blah, you know, just sort of, because my buddy said, oh, she's doing that for you. So it's one of sort of a way to sort of introduce oneself, sort of, what do you call it, that way, with indirectly. And so it turns out she's way cool and got a warehouse down there now, and she's involved in. She's got this like, table saw set up and some big planes like machines and stuff. And it turns out that she knows wood. That's where the story's going, by the way. And turns out that she's involved in some company where they select different types of wood in some mountains you mentioned. I just got this through secondhand, and my buddy translated it all. And she gets that wood and does whatever, cuts it up and what have you, and sells that wood on to customers. And I thought that's interesting because prior to that, she mentioned that that this particular wood is made out of what's known as kilinoki. Ki meaning wood, no ki meaning the thing, like the Chanel scale, that's my scale, and kilinoki, which is Polonia. Now, this, she told me, and I got this through translation. Oh, I had that up for a reason. This is there's real deal wood dowels in there. See, real deal. Yep, that's indicative of Edo. Look at that. That's indicative of Edo, you see, wood dowels. Now, and she said that these things are made out of, this particular one is made out of that type of wood because that particular Polonia type wood is more fire resistant. It has a higher yield or shield or whatever that word is of fire resistance, and that's why they use that for this particular type of thing. So there you are. So that's really cool. And she was like, we were talking about different types of wood, and I got some go boards over there, and groovy. She's actually quite a bit of a looker too. So, anyways, delete that. All right. Now, let's get back onto this. Awesome ironwork, super solid. One downside for you, I'm going to mention. I got this from one of the high-end auctions. This is too large to go via cell economy air or sea or what have you, and it has to go via EMS, which is fast air. Which it couldn't go via FedEx or Nitsu or any of these guys because they were way more expensive. Has to go via fast air due to size and weight-wise. It comes in at 18 kilos, but once I put a whole bunch of wrapping around, whatever, it could go to Australia, which has a 20 kilo max, but generally most places are 30 kilo max. What I'm trying to allude to here is that it's not going to be cheap. That's the old costings. They're even more expensive than this now for the EMS. That one's the same. But we're talking, so I'm going to end up being up around 19 kilos. FedEx, eBay extracts 10% of freight monies. What was that? I'm trying to calculate here. You're probably talking, it's probably about $275 or something like that, just in freight. Okay? So that's a downside. But the upside is that I'm going to, well, I paid a lot for it, so I should at least get back what I paid for it. And I think that, I reckon you could probably, I'm going to put up for $400. And I reckon you could probably get, what, a couple of grand for this? You know? Put it in a shop window and someone will want this, trust me. Alright, let's get to this. Absolutely bloody beautiful, as they say in my lingo. Look at this ironwork. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Bit of a nick in there. Looks like it's might have suffered a bullet hole. I don't know. What was that? Maybe that was the wood thingy. That's that. Shows it's got age. Now, it's got like two types of locking systems. I tried to get a traditional lock the other day, but they just sold. There was 3 of them at an auction house. They sold to way too expensive, so I couldn't get it. But this here, I don't know, you could just put a bit of something in there if you want. A bit of wire or something like that, or whatever. Anyways, there's 2 types of latches in here. And I find, if you fiddle with it, I find that this top one, pull it up and to that way, and this here, and if you just mess with it a little bit, now you'll see here, see that's the lower one, the larger one. I can move that in and out, and this one here, I can also move in and out. So, not difficult. I don't know what's going on with here, it's just way too elaborate for my intellectual capacity. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, let's get on to this. Notice in here, this did have some old bit of paper on the bottom here, this rice paper, but I wanted to see, that lady, that girl knows that this is Polonia from the shape of all that, whatever's. Maybe a little bit of ink spilt there way back in the day, possibly. Alright, yeah, I got beautiful, that's another locking system there. No key, sorry. Look at that, beautiful. This here, good. This here, the latches are all lovely. Now I noticed that this one, I tried to put it back together and, you know, don't give me any Lego, and never go together. And I actually had those upside down and they didn't go in, so they will only go in with in the area that they are designated to go into. Too much coffee again. I'm so busy these days. More coffee. I'm so busy these days. I don't even like this stuff, but this is alright to keep me going. Alright. Now, something really amazing about this, and the reason why I happened to search for such a thing is because I've been shown Tansu before, been shown similar things, and way back in the day, Edo period, this sort of thing, it was not uncommon for manor houses and such to have strong boxes and things like that. Now, some friends have shown me over the years that if you take a close look, you might find things that sometimes they've got all kinds of different systems that you can open this and open that, and some secret thingies. As I say the word secret thingy, I knew to look a little bit further, investigative. Just bear with me, shall we? There you go. See, this is a secret. Sometimes they have secret compartments. This actually goes in there and just slides in. This string here would have been a loop, I would say, back in the day, and that's to slide it out, you see. This here, going like that, see, and that is a secret compartment-y thingy, like Agent 86 kind of stuff. So there you have it. And like that. And what did I say this one goes again? So you don't give me Lego, whatever you do. It goes like that. So yeah, it's going to cost a lot of money. Got to go via fast air. And so some of you would like to have it for yourself. And some of you are obviously that in whom purchase things from me and sell them on as you know, for your own very business and stuff like that. So you'll find this thing here very solid, and it's a remarkable piece. Hopefully, I'll put it up on a 7-day listing, and hopefully some rich people out there like Leonardo DiCaprio might say, hey, you know what, I might just have to get that for myself. There you are. And I really like this. Wow, look at the craftsmanship in there. If this camera wasn't so crap, I would get pictures, and then you could see all the lines of where that's like tree branches and leaves and whatever's that is. And you can, look at that. Well, if it doesn't sell, I'll be very pleased to just have this. In fact, I was thinking of putting it there. I'm trying to move a whole bunch of stuff because I was thinking of putting it, you know, if it doesn't sell. But there's something else I'd like to put here at some stage. I was thinking about selling it years ago, and I'm humming and hawing about and bloody blah. And Nichiren is over here in meditation. Quite composed meditation. How are you, Nichiren? This beautiful, large, real deal stone Nichiren statue. He's like, what, 150 kilos or something, maybe more, who knows. He's gorgeous. I might put him over there. Don't know if you can see him. I had him listed at some stage for, what was it, $3,000 or something, and well, he would be a real, wow, he's just wow. But there you go. That's that. Let's nick in there. Well, not nick, but just, I don't know. Let's see, I guess it's just worn or whatever. That would have been against a wall or something, I presume. Maybe, I don't know how that is. Maybe it's just heat. I'm babbling now. I love it. You do too. If you do purchase it and you decide to keep it in your place, love to see a picture of it in your place. You know, but I don't know. It would probably get sold on to some fancy pants people. Alright, that's that.